The streets are filled with landmines, booby traps, and tripwires. One wrong step, that could be your last step. And who are the ops? It could be the robbers. It could be the police. Hell, it could even be your partner trying to line you up and backdoor you. So you got to ask yourself, what are you going to do about that? There's always options. You always have a choice. But what decision will you make? Most people decide to stay strapped with the extendos and the 30s. After all, the Second Amendment assures all United States citizens that they have the right to bear arms and to protect themselves, right? Well, that right has been taken away from felons. If you have been convicted of a crime here in the United States, you no longer have the right to bear arms. You no longer have the right to protect yourself. Even though everywhere you look and almost everybody you see is carrying a firearm. Let me give you some frightening numbers. There are at least 500,000 black prisoners. They make up about 40% of all incarcerated persons in the United States. But they only account for about 12 or 13% of the total population. Did you hear what I just said? Even though black prisoners account for about 40% of the people incarcerated, black people only account for about 12 to 13% of the total population. Those numbers are very, very disproportionate. Come on now. Now let me give you some more numbers. Did you know that there are approximately about 5 million people on parole or probation in the United States? You heard me right. There is approximately 5 million people on probation or parole in the United States. And I'm going to be straight up with y'all. Almost everybody I know that's on probation or parole, they are walking around with firearms. And the reason why they feel like they have to carry these firearms is because, like I said, they know that it is the wild, wild west out here on these streets. So most of them do not feel comfortable. They don't feel safe unless they got the firearms on them. You know, people ain't saying take care no more. People are saying stay dangerous. Okay, so take that into consideration. There's approximately 5 million people on probation or parole in the United States. Now, how many people out there that are not on probation, that are not on parole, but they are convicted felons? People with felony convictions, they account for about 10% of the American population. And most people that I know who are convicted felons, they walk around with firearms because they don't feel safe, because they feel like the streets are dangerous. So they feel like they got to stay dangerous. Look at the streets of Chicago. Chirac is the poster child for the danger that lurks in the city streets across the United States. And I'll go even farther to say, you don't even have to talk about the cities. You can talk about the suburbs even small towns right now. Danger lurks in the city streets. So now let me ask you a question. Which one would you take? Would you take jail? Would you take hell? Or are you going to tuck your tail? You know, I know a lot of people say, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That means I'd rather be caught with the pistol than without the pistol. I know a lot of people that says that. So a lot of the convicted felons are choosing to carry their firearm, especially the ones that are still active in the streets. And a lot of the convicted felons that I know, they are still active out there in the streets. Whether they be selling dope, whether they are banging, whatever it is they're doing, they are still involved in criminal activities. And if they are still engaging in criminal activities, they know that most of the people out there in the underworld are strapped. So to be playing on equal grounding, you got to be strapped too. They know that if the police so happen to pull them over and shake them down, with probable cause, of course, they know that there's a good possibility that they will be returning to prison. But this is a chance that most convicted felons are definitely willing to take. So they're choosing a chance at jail. Then you got a few convicted felons out there still active. They might be selling them a little dope, selling them a little weed or something, right? But they're not carrying the firearm because they feel like, well, this is low risk activity, what I'm doing over here, but I'm not going to carry this firearm. But then what about when them robbers come in there with their firearms, trying to take what you got? Instead of working hard and accumulating a sense of their own wealth, they see that you got a little something going on and they want to take away what you got. Well, then you got those who just tuck their tails. They get all the way out the way. Instead of staying dangerous, they take care of themselves. They leave the street life alone. They settle down into their own sense of manhood. They're no longer gang banging. They're no longer selling drugs. Now, which way is the right way? I mean, I can't tell nobody which way is the right way. But you got to look at your environment. You fresh out of prison. Which one of these roads would you take? Which one of these roads would be more beneficial to you and your family? Getting back out here active. We just seen what happened to Lil Reese. We just seen what happens to Lil Reese. See, when you active, right? Yeah, you active. So that means everything that comes with the activity of being active, yeah, it's all fair game. It's all fair game. We saw the situation with Mo3. Rest in peace. And I'm glad Lil Reese is okay. But I mean, staying dangerous is one thing. You can have that pistol on you and get caught slipping and get caught lacking. And it's just like you ain't got that pistol on you. We just seen the latest video of Mo3. And it is said that when the shooters came for him, he ran to the other side. He got out of his car and ran to the other side, reaching for his weapon. But he came up short. He did not find his weapon. So the shooters still had a chance to make him meet his demise. Look at FBG Duck. Rest in peace, Duck. It is said that he had his pistol on him, and his pistol with the extendo, and they said it jammed up. Is that true? I don't know. I wasn't there, but what I'm saying is this right here. We got choices out here, and we got to start making better choices. Because like I said, hell, jail, or tuck your tail. And I'm not going to tell y'all to tuck your tail. I'm not going to tell you to get out the way. Because sometimes, you can be driving in your lane, and a drunk driver swerve over into your lane. So we all know how that could be, right? Yeah, we do. But the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, you no longer possess that, because they are looking at ex-cons as second-class citizens now. They done gave the black people their civil rights, supposedly. They done gave the women their civil rights, supposedly. So now, the oppressed population are those that are in prisons, those that are in jails all across the United States. They can't carry a firearm, even though the Second Amendment originally told them that they could. It's all by design. With your propaganda, you propagate violence. You glorify the killing and the crime. And you know that the subconscious mind is so strong that these things that you propagate on TV, these images that you propagate through social media, through the influencers, through the content creators, the nonsense that the algorithm pushes, you know that people are going to mimic that. Because life mimics art. Life imitates art. Actions speak louder than words. So they show us what to do on the big screen. They don't have to tell us. That's why when the preacher get up in the pulpit and try to tell us, see, the preacher is appealing to logic. But when you look at these memes and when you watch these movies and you listen to this music, see, these art forms are touching us on a subconscious level, on a subterranean level. And these images are so powerful that they move us. Action speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words, because words only appeal to your conscious mind, and your conscious mind, it has a defense mechanism. So that's why when a person trying to walk up to you and just sell you something, you can be like, nah, I don't want that, get out of my face, right? But when McDonald's and all these other major corporations sensationalize their products through commercials and advertisements, see, it's hard to fight that, because they are not trying to make you buy nothing, but they are wooing you like a sultry R&B singer. These advertisements, they are funny, so they make you laugh. They brighten up your day a little bit. They make you feel some type of way. And through this technique, they move us in the direction that they want to move us. Yeah. A lot of y'all are asleep out there. Stay woke. And all y'all that's convicted felons, and all of y'all that's about to get out of prison, ask yourself, which one is more important? Jail, hell. or tuck your tail. Because you're going to have to choose one way or another. Jail, hell, or tuck your tail. Peace.